Andrew spent some of his early age in the eastern part of Nigeria. He was born in the UK. Andrew was actually adopted.
This case has been a complicated one from day one. There is something about the man involved, Andrew Amaechi Ocheko, a name among many other. It is alleged that he has changed his name so many times, which is so alarming for a businessman in quotation marks. There is something about the man that no one can pinpoint out. Well, he's no longer here to talk for himself, but this case is more complicated and there is so much more to it than what we know. While he's popularly known as a businessman, it is also alleged that he might be ORGAN harvester, RITUALS IST, or he belongs to a syndicate. Now, what do we actually know about this man? Who is his family? The secrecy is on another level. After a thorough search on who he really is, no information has been found about his family background. While it is normal for people to hide their social media profiles, the fact that he changes his name over and over again indicates an illegal activity in the background. Now, going back to who Mr. Amaechi is, only one person is able to tell us that, and even that information is minimal.
Andrew has been my friend for over 10 years.
Okay.
So I know him. We live in the same community in the UK, and I know quite a bit of him. So I visited when I was in Nigeria, and every time I come to Nigeria, I do go to see him in Port Harcourt. So it's quite a very unfortunate situation that we're discussing about. But the conspiracy out there and the narrative out there is taking the main focus from the main reason why this thing took place. Andrew spent some of his early age in the eastern part of Nigeria. He was born in the UK, and then the good thing that you guys need to know today, Andrew was actually adopted, okay? And Andrew was raised in Nigeria. He told me this one because he explained his early growth when we discussed. So he's a successful businessman. He's a gas heater engineer. The facts are there. He maintained almost 85% of council property in Buckinghamshire. He maintains schools. He has staffs that over 15 staff. At one point, Andrew had more than 15 vans for staff. Minimum wages for his staff, 40 grand a year. Most of his staff are British, white British, basically. Andrew is a crafted guy. But he has a problem. Just like everyone, he has a serious mental health problem.
According to research, he had 3 businesses registered in the UK. The only active one, though, was the gas team. Black Sheep Plumbing Limited and the gas team Commercial Limited were all dissolved years back. But the Black Sheep Group Limited, the one he had in Nigeria, that I cannot see registered anywhere. And I believe he set that up when he went to Nigeria in 2021. While this was not a bad idea, the fact that he was lying to people, making people believe that he actually had an office and not telling them that this office was in his own house, that was fishy. What's the reason why you wouldn't tell people that that office is in your house? All the same, being an engineer in the UK is a very good profession and earns a lot of money. But what was the reasons behind his actions? Was he beginning to be hungry for more money, more power, more possessions? Or was he just hiding behind the title businessman? All that is really a mystery.
Now, he was involved in an incident that took him to prison. Went to jail in this country.
Okay.
He went to jail for slapping a woman. I was aware of it. And after that prison incident, his life went like this, boom, like that. So he decided, Andrew does not know anything about Nigerian culture. Or like he knows he's from Nigeria. He loves that he's been there before. He was brought up a little bit of his early age before he moved back to the UK and completely grew up here. When I see him, his life was completely a mess after he came back from prison. So that means he lost his business. He was not broke. Whoever told you he's broke, they're lying. He was not broke. He has properties. He has life. But his company went down. So he went into depression.
So Mr. Ben stated earlier that Andrew had mental health issue. He did not state specifically what he had. However, he's saying that after his prison sentence, he came back and went into depression. Now, with a severe depression, a person can have mania episodes and a depressive episode. And from look of things, it sounded like Andrew could be suffering from bipolar disorder. And a severe one can be very dangerous as such and need to have constant treatment. So here's a case whereby Andrew is coming back from prison, going into depression and deciding to go to Nigeria. A mania episode can last long depending on the individual and how their treatment is going. In severe cases, people are hospitalized for this. In fact, it comes with hyperactivity, erratic thinking, poor judgment, impulsivity, so much more things that could be dangerous if this person is not seeking professional help. So obviously in the UK he was managed properly, whereas in Nigeria there is nothing like professional support. In fact, no one knew about this apart from Ben.
And now he can't go to America because he can't go to the US. He can't go to any Western country because of his criminal record. And he wanted to go to Nigeria and reset his life. Okay? That is how he moved to Nigeria in 2021. Andrew moved to PH. Andrew, the first 3 months, Andrew was in prison in PH. Girls reported him. I put myself out there to change the narrative because what would have happened is this. They would have just pushed all this narrative, the case with, and more prisoners can move to Nigeria and do the same thing again.
Oh, wow.
And no lesson will be learned. No lesson will be learned.
Do you have evidence to back your claims?
It's not evident. If I have evidence, I was aware of the case, like totally aware of the cases that he's being told. The police in Port Harcourt is aware. The state CID who gave him a GUN license. The state CID who gave him a GUN license in 2022. Andrew returned back to Nigeria in 2021. The GUN license that you see on the video that he's giving to was banned in 2022. They backdated it for him to 2016.
So, I just want to say, no wonder that Nigeria is on a red list in Europe. Nigeria is considered as one of the dangerous places to visit, when in reality it's not a really dangerous place at all. But it is because of people like this and because of people like the police. How can you tell me that somebody who is not a Nigerian citizen had come to Nigeria to stay, to live there, right? And this person within 3 months of living in the country has committed such a horrendous act. Yet you get mine to go ahead and give a GUN license to this person. Meanwhile, that license was also banned. You still go ahead to validate this say license and give it to the person who had committed an act of inhumanity and been to prison for just within the first 3 months of staying in PH, which I'm sure they treated him like a king there because of his money. What do you expect this person to do? What do you expect this person to continue doing when everyone can do whatever they want as long as they pay the police off? The citizens' lives are in danger every single day. As long as it does not come to light, nobody cares about it. Nobody does anything about it. And the higher ups covers everything up. In fact, these young ladies are tagged with the name of hookup. But what about those innocent people who are just walking on the street, who are just hawking by yet being KIDNAP? What about those ones? And the only reason why we are talking about this issue now is because this one has come out. What about all those ones that have been hidden, that have been covered up? So all I can say to everyone is to be very careful.
And they took money from him, and he was using this thing to to do the big man. I am not coming here to defend him. I'm coming here to tell you we have a system That doesn't work.
Now, let me ask you a question. If you are aware of all these things, going on, why didn't you talk to him?
I was speaking to him. You don't understand. I was speaking regularly to him, and I was telling him, get settled, marry somebody that can calm you down. Logs of messages, logs of text messages. It's not everything I'll come here and I start telling you. For that kind of a guy that have risen to the pinnacle of management, to descend to that level, you have to understand. I was telling him,
Now, just going back, talking about mental health, I feel like even that is still just a hypothesis. Because if that was truly the case, he wouldn't be in a regular prison. He would have been in a mental health prison. He may truly be depressed and wanting to pick up his life again after coming out of prison. He could be seeking help if he was truly mentally ill. And going to Nigeria may be a good idea for different environments, new beginnings. But according to the whole story, it seems like it's his thing and way of life to behave the way he did. And I believe that the best way that a friend could help a friend is actually referring him back to the police. Since we are dealing with mental health here, and that would have been the best help ever, rather than taking a friend's side. Because this is somebody who wasn't even listening to your advice.
I have my kid. I have been in this country for more than 20-something years. I have never seen police van, the back of police van, never seen it. My record is as pure as gold. And I'm telling him, pick a lesson, learn. Stop this thing that you are doing. Get married and live your life. It was not easy for him. But the Nigerian police, the environment he moved back to, encourage him. You give him a word. You give him a gun. When he harmed this girl and he went to cell, they give him his phone. He called me from cell and he said, I have a problem, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what's the problem? He called me from cell. Are you listening to me?
I can hear you.
The state CID, if anybody watching in state CID, you guys know what I'm talking about. It was a big shot. Just imagine you are a big shot in Port Harcourt. That police respect you and they come to you.
So guys, I'm just going to cut it short here. What do you think about this video? Do you think that Mr. Ben was right for not sending all this information to the police? Not even reporting the whole thing to the police in the UK? Do you think would have been the best course of action for him if you were in his shoes? What would you have done? Comment down below and let us know. Thank you. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe and hit that bell icon so when I upload any video, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you and bye-bye for now. See you in the next video. It's your girl Susie here on Explore With You. Peace and love.